Hello y'all and welcome back to my channel, Big Bear Gear Reviews. If you like what you see, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I was going to make a video, individual videos of each one of these brother knives. As a matter of fact, I filmed them, some of them quite a while ago. And then I realized they're all like 3 minutes to 10 minutes, to 3 to 5 minutes, talking about each one. So I decided to compile them all together. I decided that after I got this one, which is the brother, this one is a slip joint, unlike all the others which are lock back. This one is the 1508. And come on camera, you can focus on this. Come on. There we go. So there's a 1508. It comes with a bone handle, unlike the rest which are unorganic materials. I don't know what bone it is, but again we have that fake bolster look, which is a bolster that goes in the front and pulls its way, well, not to the back, but it becomes like a second scale. You have a bone. You could get this one also in carbon fiber. Personally, I have enough carbon fiber, and this one is a little more unique, being bone. You have a lanyard hole, it's pinned together. This one is, as I said, a slip joint with a really nice walk and talk. It is a very acute Wharncliffe. I carry this now a lot on holidays or when I'm dressing up. As you can see, this one is also VG10. That's the only markings on the knife. Sorry that's a little dirty, but I do use my knives. Very nice, very comfortable handle. And for what I use when I'm carrying a suit, even though it's a slip joint and no extra locking, it needs a lot of pressure to close. You have a very strong detent and a half stop. I mean, listen. Closes really well, fits in your pocket. There's no real hot spots. There's a tiny gap up here, sorry about that, right there. I can't get my finger in. It might be because of the angle. It also might be because it's really tiny and you can't see it. Other than that, the fit and finish is really, really nice. I like the fact that it's bone. I don't know what bone it is. I'm going to assume that it's cow or camel bone because those are the most available. For what it is, which is a slip joint that's very not expensive, it has become one of my favorite dress-up knives. So when I want to dress up fancy, voila, I have my set of brothers. I've been using the bone one. I'm going to call it what is the 1508 for pretty much when I wear a suit every occasion. I do switch it up sometimes, but because of legality reasons, slip joint is much easier. So when I'm out of town or whatever, I'll carry a slip joint. So I'll carry this one if I want to be fancy. Other than that, the other knives here, I use this one really as a beater knife, even though it's really nicely built and nicely assembled. I use it as a beater knife. This one I use as a fancy EDC. This one, the 1505, I believe. Yeah, this one is the 1505. I just throw in my pocket when I want a small, fancy knife for when I'm wearing a suit. Sorry, I didn't say this one is the 1507. And this one is the 1502. This one, even though it's a lockback and the others are so slick, this one is a little harder to manipulate. Doesn't drop as easy or as much. It's a little stiffer, but it's a beater knife. I use it, abuse it, and it comes back kicking. Has a little lanyard hole, no pocket clip. And this one is what I carry when I want to wear a fancy knife with a suit. You have a really nice blade. Anyhow, these are my brother pocket knives. I have a fixed blade, a review on that coming soon. Anyhow, Today we're going to talk about this Brother 1502. This is their first, well, in their newer series, which is not any more clones. I don't really know what's the story with the Brother company. I know they have a few knives that are copies of others, but this one is the first one that I've seen, at least, of theirs that's kind of original. I mean, it's a regular, what is it called, a sodbuster design, so it's like no one can really claim, you know, mine is the first, and this one is very different from other ones they have. So, this is the 1502. I added this brass thumb stud. It is a lockback. Let me try getting it all. Lockback. It's pretty smooth for opening. Once you add the thumb stud for one-handed, otherwise you have a nail nick. It is 440C. Sorry, some of them are VG10, some of them are 440C. This one is in 440C. You have brass around the main pin and brass liners. I believe there's like some type of a washer in there. I don't know. I can't really take it apart. It's pinned together. Ow, that hurt. Just pinched myself between the thumb stud and the knife itself. It's a G10 scales. Really comfortable in the hand when you use it. Sits really comfortable in the hand for pretty decent use. I did beat on this one a lot. I batoned with this knife just to see if you could. It batoned pretty well for a knife its size and for being a folding knife at that. So this is the Brother. Let me kill that light, just killing the there we go. Now we have a little better. So this is the Brother 1502. Has the Brother logo there. It says one knife, one life. All in all, the fit and finish is really good. There's no like really gaps between the spring, the brass, or the G10. It's a really nice knife. I don't remember the price. It was like 20 bucks if I remember correctly. Great knife to carry around. It doesn't have a pocket clip, but with this type of a knife, it just throw in your pocket as a backup knife if you want that, or just a small knife to have on you, but still looks pretty good, and you don't have to have a pocket clip with it. Today we're going to take a look at this knife. This is the Brother 1503. Let me bring it up. As you can see in there, it says 1503. That is the model number, and these were all numbered. I have number 533. This is by a designer that I don't know anyone who's done a review on this knife and been able to read or know who he is. This blade shape is really, really nice. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a fancy version of the Benchmade Proper. Well, it is a lockback, but I want you guys to see that I'm just pushing in the lock, and it's so smooth in there. Looks like there's some type of washers inside. You can't really see. The blade itself is made of VG10. It's very, very comfortable. My one problem with this knife, and I only have one problem with it, is the name they gave it. I think it was a cowfish or like something like that, which is just a dumb name for this knife. Let's look at the blade itself. You have VG10. You have a really long thumb nick to open it, like a nail nick. The blade is a modified drop with a pretty decent ground blade and choil on the top, or whatever you call it. Nice thickness. Great. Like, this is a knife you would throw in your pocket when you're wearing a suit, take it out. I mean, look at it. It's real carbon fiber that's been milled over. There's no gaps in the carbon fiber. You get like a shield or an emblem right there. It has I believe it's stainless steel bolsters, which are, it's really one bolster going the whole way around. There, from here, and then it goes all the way to there, and then the carbon fiber is laid in there. It's a pinned design, so you can't take it apart. But this is, when it came out, this was my like everyday fancy, not everyday, but like fancy knife that I wore when I wanted to wear something fancy. You could one hand open it. I just showed you here. You one hand close it. Sorry, I have one hand dealing with the tripod. You pinch the blade and you can thumb it open. It's a classic design. It's comfortable in the hand. It can do the work. It didn't come shaving sharp, but it came paper. It passed the paper test. You know, cutting in A10 without any rip marks. An A10, an A4. Sorry about that. What else can I say? There's a minuscule gap on the up here by the between the spring and the liner. I can just barely get my thumb in there. Other than that, this knife is beautifully finished. You have mil carbon fiber. Sorry, when it came out, it was one of my favorite pocket knives. With other knives that came out from their series, I started carrying other ones of theirs, but I still take this one out a lot. Today we're going to talk about this knife. This is the Brother. This is the 1505. It's the third knife of theirs that I have. It's smaller than most pocket knives. You get, let's see if the camera will focus, a VG10 blade, 1505, Brothers logo, one knife, one life. Now, unlike the 1503 that came, which was numbered and had the designer written on it, which I would expect from then on they would do that, as you can see here, let me show you. This is the 1503. We have it's a serial number knife, and here has the designer written on it. They stopped doing that. Maybe they'll do it in future knives. So that was the 1503. I've done a review about it. Here you have the, okay, focus up camera, focus. This is the 1505. It's very different. For one, it's a different shaped blade. This is an upswept blade, a little more utilitarian for EDC than a drop point or yeah, that's basically a drop point spear point combo. This one you have a full flat grind with a secondary bevel. Metal bolsters, I believe it's stainless steel, and a micarta scale. It's not as smooth as the 1503, but still it falls really well, so you can close it. It's a dangler knife. Sorry, you can't really see it in this angle. It is a beautiful knife. You have a lanyard hole in the back. There's no pocket clip, but most traditional knives don't have pocket clips. And it seems that that Brother have been working in that direction to make more traditional style knives. I know they do have a bunch of fixed blades, which I hope to be getting one soon and testing it and reviewing it. But as of now, this is what it seems that they're coming out with as their new knives. I do know Brother do have a bunch, what do they have? They have like a Ganzo clone or something like that. Not really a clone, a copy. They do put their own name on it. But all in all, this is a great knife. It's a little smaller than my average. It's a 3-finger knife, 3.5 finger knife when it's opened. So I can get could get a full grip, but my pinky is half in the air on it. Blade to use. I haven't used this blade a lot. I will admit I haven't used this knife a lot. I carry it around when I have a suit. I don't wear a suit that often. Don't dress up fancy that often. But when I do, this knife is a must. This design of a knife. And I really, really like it. Today we're going to talk about this knife, the Brother 1507. I've done reviews of several of their knives. Still haven't put them up, that's because of trouble I've had with YouTube. Now that trouble's over, I'll start putting them up. I got this knife a while ago, probably around a year ago, or right similar to that, almost when it came out. It's a clip point. A little more tactical than what they've been coming out with lately, not because it is tactical, because it looks tactical. It has the fake bolsters. It's really a metal scale that goes, I hope you guys can see it. Okay, let me try. Okay, basically the scale goes behind the carbon fiber inlay. The carbon fiber here is a beautiful, what is it called? Beautiful milled carbon fiber. See it here, real carbon fiber, there's no gaps, it's a pin together construction, the knife. You get the shield emblem, which they put out on the 1503, but they didn't on the 1505. I really like it. It's a neat emblem. You can right away tell that it's not trying to be someone else's. It's something weird that they put together. I've heard some people say it looks like a weird submarine, a kid's spaceship, some type of a sword. I just think it's kind of quirky and neat, and I don't want to define it by anything. No pocket clip again. This one does not have a lanyard hole, which some of them seem to have. The blade itself is made of VG10 again here. I'm guessing after this knife, after I sell this knife, they're not going to make serialized knives anymore. I mean, they did that with the 1503, and I think they're not doing it again. Maybe there was too much demand to really make it a serialized, each one serialized, or maybe they just was a one thing off. Comes with the Brother logo and a really nice nail nick here. So when the knife is closed, you have a lot of purchase to grab. It is closer up to the top of the knife, which means you need to put a little more force on opening it. So if you would have one here, which would get away of the swedge, but if you would, it would be a little easier to open. Not that it's that hard. It really opens easy. I'm guessing on some type of bearing or probably like bronze washers or something. Again, it's pinned, so I can't really get in there, and I couldn't really look in to see what it is. So you have here is the Brother. It doesn't have a half stop, it just opens. What I do sometimes, I hold it from the end, push that in, and swing it out. Works when I don't have a camera in the way. So here's the knife. It's a suit. Very fancy. I use this one, I took this on a day of work. It was really nice having a knife that looks good, performs very well. I do have to sharpen it up after what I did to it, which was very brutal. I chopped through some wood, I cut a lot of cardboard and string and some foam. Other than that, I don't really have what to say about this knife. It's a beautiful knife. It's a upgraded version of the 1503, which is right here. A little bigger, a little more tactical looking. I kind of like it a little more for everyday carry. Well, the 1503 I'm still going to keep as a more of a suit knife. Well, this one is more of a fancy everyday carry. All the knives came very well oiled, and they come with this really nice sack. Hope you liked the video. Please like, share, subscribe, and keep your knives sharp.